Good evening, passengers. This is your captain speaking. First, I would like to welcome you aboard Flight Bakanal de Afrique. May soon come with service from wherever you are to planet Bakanal. We will be taking off just as soon as I get through page 419 of this flight manual. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 420,000 feet at an airspeed of 20 miles per hour. The time is what you say it is. The weather looks funky and the tailwind acting up. We don't know when we will reach our destination because we are still waiting for fuel. So if anyone has some to donate, please let us know. Once we get going, the flight should take about 9 hours, but luckily, I know a shortcut. Just trust me. We are pleased to have some of the best cabin crew in the industry. Unfortunately, none of them are on this flight. Prior to takeoff, the cabin crew will be walking up and down the aisle to make sure that you didn't cheat on your taxes last year and to offer you a light snack and beverage. And the in-flight movie will begin shortly after that. I'll talk to you again before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, enjoy your flight, or you can sit up and be tense. That's your business.
People, you don't know already, it's your boy Tango Leaders.
It's your girl Inez Chanel.
It's King Drewski of the War Boys. November 6th
To November 30th, yeah?
all roads lead to
Bakanal de Afrique Afro Festival. Coming to you live, virtually, and on the ground.
You don't want to miss this, Bedu. You cannot afford to miss it.
Remember me say, you know.
Bakanaldeafrique.com. So, bonana kona.
Hey!
Can't wait. Oh.
Unfortunately, my private jet just stopped working yesterday for no reason. So I have decided to use my Legacy Benz. I have decided to use my Lexus because we can't be stopped. We move.
Nzinga, can you please introduce yourself, please, to the house?
Yeah, sure, Adetona. Welcome, everyone. Bonsoir. Welcome to Bakanal de Afrique 2020. We're here with you tonight. Look at you, Adetona, looking fine. Eh? I know you didn't take public transportation today. You look too fine. What did you do today? Did you have to take the train, the bus, the anything? No, you didn't. I could see it. Anyway, me, I didn't have to work. I didn't have to go to work today. I didn't have to take any type of transportation. That's why I'm here with you tonight. My name is Nzinga Bandida.
I took a bike. I took a bike today.
Okay, Adetona, I think we are overlapping. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I said I took a bike today, and it was all fun. This piece of transition I took today, I found it very interesting. So go ahead, I'm listening. Right.
Okay, thank you, Adetona. So just like I said, my name is Nzinga. Welcome to Bakanal de Afrique, to this artist talk. We have a bunch of amazing artists with us tonight. We also have a bunch of people who are here to help us. We have two hosts. So we have Tayleur with us tonight that is going to, bring us your questions. So feel free to comment, to ask questions, to, tell Adetona that he's looking fine, tell me that I'm looking cute, just express yourself. The theme of today, of this year, is transportation. So show us your car. If you have a fancy car, show us your bike, show us anything, show us your feet. You know what I'm saying? Show us us. We want you to be part of this talk tonight. So without further ado, I think I'm going to let the artists introduce themselves. How about that?
Yeah, it's beautiful. But before then, I want to let you know that we have some amazing audience that are here to listen to us, to hear what the artist is about to say. And mind you, let me tell them today is the second artist show we're having, and there are still more to come. So that's it. But before then, I would like you to let them know what kind of platform do we have where they can drop their question, in case they want to ask artist question. We have different platforms. Nzinga, can you introduce us to that, please?
Yeah, we have, first of all, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. We have a tag wall where, just like I say, you can send us photos. In the comments, we have two hosts with us, Tayleur and Nzilani, who are going to be, dropping by to just let us know what you think about us, about our talk. So I think that's all. Adetona, did I miss anything?
No, you didn't miss anything. That's it. So now, I know strongly that our artists are fully ready to talk to our audience, in the house. And as well, I know our audience as well, they should try and grab that glass cup of bottle of water, sit down and listen to what our artists have in store for us today. So without so much further ado, I would like to introduce our artists to come and do a little intro about themselves, because our audience wants to know them. Thank you. So, Dom, are you ready? Are you down for us? Are you ready for us?
Such energy, such energetic hosts. Thank you guys so much for that great intro. My name's Dom Jones. My pronouns are she, her. I am from Oakland, California. Go Oakland. My artistic expression is musician, and I am made from purple velvet, as you can see. So, yes, thank you.
Purple velvet, that's what's up. That's what's up. I like this. Okay, who's next? Vivi, I think it's your turn.
Thank you, Nzinga. My name is Vivi Karia. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. My pronouns are she, her. What am I made from? I'm made from life and its experiences and its mystery. And yeah, the simple things, just life.
Beautiful, Vivian. Wole, how you doing?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Wole Hammond from Abuja, Nigeria. I go by the pronouns he, him. I'm made from gentleness, optimism, and excellence. It's nice to be here. And yeah, I'm a photographer, a documentary photographer.
Ooh, excellent. I like that too. I think next is Olubori. Olubori, what's up?
What's up, y'all? Welcome. My name is Olubori Babaoye. I go by he/him. I'm from the Bay Area, from Oakland specifically. I'm a visual artist, a classic painter, and a graphic designer. And I'm made of bones, blood, flesh, and jollof rice.
But which one though? Which one? Which jollof?
Nigerian jollof.
You have to say it. You have to say it. Thank you, Olubori. Next we have Sephora girl. Sephora, are you with us?
Yes. Hi. My name is Sephora. I am an Eritrean American filmmaker based in San Francisco. I'm from the Bay Area, and I would say I'm made of strange ideas and champagne.
Champagne. That's
Champagne.
fancy. Okay. Okay. Who's next, Adetona?
Can you hear me? So here we have nwaobiala. Nwaobiala, I know you are ready. You are ready for her. So go ahead. Let us hear you.
Yes. No, afam bụ nwaobiala, abụ m onye Igbo. Welcome, my name is nwaobiala. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns. I'm Igbo, I'm Nigerian American. I'm a trans, non-binary, and queer multidisciplinary artist. I'm currently based in Prince George's County, Maryland, and I'm made from incense, mindfulness, water, flow. I'm made from my ancestors, from Fumilayo Ransom Kuti to my very powerful great-grandmother, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, nwaobiala. We're so happy with
You're
you
welcome.
with
You're
us.
welcome.
Hey,
Lauren.
I'm Lauren. I use the pronoun she, her. I am Caribbean American, but based in Miami right now. I am a textile artist and costume designer, and I am made from brave people who went over the horizon, curry chicken, and a little whatlessness. My Caribbean people know what I mean by that.
Okay, that's what's up.
Beautiful, beautiful. So right now, after we're done with introducing our artists,
wait,
I know
we
our
have
audience in the
Adetona.
house.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
I'm running to Baccus Festival.
You have the last artist. We have Bryan.
Hey,
Is Bryan with
us? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here. Adetona, why did you want to skip me, man?
Yeah.
Offended, man.
I got you.
So offended, bro.
I got you, Bryan. I got you.
My name is Bryan Emry. He, him, from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm made of black. And my mother's, grandmother's, and auntie's prayers.
I like this.
Yes,
I can see you protected right now. You are protected.
Already.
Yeah.
Already we're getting so much love in the YouTube. Host, you are doing such an amazing job. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting why are you running snaps? And I'm getting people are really excited to learn more about the artists and are loving you all's vibes as hosts. So if you have anything else to say, tune into the YouTube or the Facebook and chat me. Get at me.
All right. Thank you, Taylor. Please come again. So
thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor.
Adetona.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm really glad that our audience can't actually wait to hear what the artists have in store for us. So it's actually a good one for us. So before we move on, I want to tell our audience that they also have the opportunity to ask questions to know more about the artist. So now the next question we'll be asking our artists is for them to tell us how they begin their creative journey, where they are now, and where are they going to. We really want to know. So.
Yeah, my creative journey began as a child in the church. I sung my first solo when I was 5 years old. My mom was the head of Sunshine Band, which like Black Americans know, that's like a children's choir in the Black church. And so I began creating and writing songs at 9 years old, and I just never stopped making music. Even if I went off the path for a little while, I was always making music. Eventually, I was in corporate America working at a technology company, but blowing all my checks on studio time. And so there came a point where it was like, you're spending all your money and all your energy on music. Let's just do that full time. And so now here I am. I've graduated from Berklee College of Music with a dual major in songwriting and music business. And I'm working on my art full time. And I'm here at Bakanal de Afrique with new music for those who bought tickets. If you're watching this and you haven't bought a ticket yet, you're missing out on some great new music. So get your day pass.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. If you haven't bought your tickets yet, why? That's my question. And second of all, go now. Go now. You have time. Okay. Vivi, tell us about
Rush
your
it.
story, please.
Yes, thank you, Nzinga. So my creative journey began back 2015. I was designing in fabric, and then I did that for a little bit until I probably 2017, and then I felt like, I'm sort of outgrowing it with my ideas, and then I started to experiment with metal and making sculpture. And then, ever since, it's just been a learning journey. It's been so exciting, and now I'm a sculptural designer. Yeah.
Beautiful, Vivi. That's amazing. I love seeing sculpture anyway. So I can't wait. And I know our audience also can't wait to see what you have in store, what you have to show for them. So next in line is Wole.
Yeah, thank you. So for me, my creative journey, I guess creativity is in every one of us. I grew up seeing my dad with his old film camera documenting things around him, taking pictures, and that sort of left an impression within me. So I think some 2, 3 years ago, I found myself just going around shooting the things around me, beauty, landscapes, sunset, just the beauty I see through my eyes. I try to just create a picture out of it. And how I've grown so far is that I've transitioned into human interest stories around people, culture, societal issues, and my long-term goal is just to amplify voices of everyday people, stories that matter to us. I believe it's important to visualize them, and that's what I do as a documentary photographer.
Thank you so much, Wole. That's so interesting. Watching your father taking pictures and then find yourself in the same shoe. I think that our story is kind of similar. So next in line is Olubori.
Yes. So my creative journey started ever since I could remember, probably like the age of 4. I just scribbled on everything I could get my hands on, newspaper, walls. And so eventually, and then so throughout elementary school, I used to draw on my homework all the time. I actually used to get in trouble for drawing on my homework. Eventually, my 5th grade teacher noticed that obviously it was something that I like to do a lot. And she introduced me to the Oakland School for the Arts, which is where I went throughout middle school and high school. I auditioned, got in, and trained there for 7 years, like 3 hours a day drawing. So eventually it just became second nature. And then I went to the University of the Pacific, studied graphic design there. But also while I was there doing graphic design, I was also painting and really working on my my physical skills with the paintbrush and the paint. So I really got to grow in that aspect as well. And right now, I'm also teaching art at EOIDC. And I'm also teaching art on my own as a sip and paint instructor. And I'm working on like 2 murals right now.
Okay. Sip and
Simultaneously.
paint.
So yeah, I
I
have a
like
lot going on right now, so yeah.
that.
And then as far as my future endeavors, eventually I want to get to the point where I could exhibit work worldwide, travel, meet people, and also establish my own youth center, hopefully, where I could teach kids how to paint as well. So yeah.
Thank you, Olubori. Next
All right.
in line is Sephora. Sephora, tell us about your journey.
Sure. I fell into filmmaking through 2 big loves in my life, writing and learning about Eritrea. As diaspora, I'm raised in California, and I hadn't had a chance to go back to Eritrea yet, so I used to just write about this place that I'm curious about. And so my films kind of started off being about, I wonder what it's like. And they use the language, they use the culture, we use non-actors from the community in the Bay. And then I actually got to go to Eritrea, so it kind of leveled up my films, and I got to, report on what I'm learning and the questions that I have. now we're at a phase where, you know, I write like way bigger projects, and the questions are getting better because it's a call and response between, you know, getting better data, writing better stories, you know, having new ideas. And yeah, I think that filmmaking is something I strongly encourage. I feel like it's a very, it feels like it's a hard industry to get into, but really if you have an eye, you can just make it happen. I believe, I mean, you know, like I shot the thing for Bakanal de Afrique. I made new work for the festival, and I did it on my iPhone, and we shot in 4K. And so it's like this homage to like working with the constraints that you have, if you have them. I'm a big supporter.
Yeah, thank you, Sephora. I get that. As a fellow filmmaker, just do it. Take your phone, take your old dad's camera, take your grandma cries. Just do it. If you have an eye, you have an eye. You know, just start. Yeah, thank you, Sephora. nwaobiala, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, they're here. Okay. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. So my artist journey really started through words. So I'm a multidisciplinary artist, right? But my entrance into art was through words. I remember when I was going to school in Nigeria, I went to school in Delta State. And I remember going to the library and reading books, looking for quotes. I don't know why, but I was just so drawn to words. And then when I returned to the United States, I got into spoken word poetry and I started to write. And I feel like writing was really a space where I could fully express myself, no limitations, no control, nobody else's opinions. It was just me and the paper, right? Me and the pen and the paper. And from there, I don't know, I started to drift out of poetry. I wanted to get more into the visual aspect. Like I wanted to be able to express my opinions, my thoughts, the things that I'm interacting with. And I want people to be able to hear and to feel those things. So I started to get into photography and filmmaking. And that's currently where I'm at right now. And then photography also, I was able to kind of branch off into digital collaging. So the thing about photography and filmmaking, it gets cold. It gets cold outside, and I don't want to be outside when it's cold. I don't want to be filming when it's cold. So, digital design was really the marriage between my photography, you know, having those Photoshop skills and then being able to create. So I was in all of these different spaces, right? And I still am. And currently I feel like whatever story I want to tell, I listen to that story. And from there, I determined which medium would be best for the story. And my journey right now, where I'm heading, I want to do more filmmaking. I also, when I was younger, I used to sing a lot, but I never took myself seriously. And now I'm really moving into music. I'm learning how to play bass. I'm practicing. This pandemic has given me the space to explore more mediums. So my journey is ever changing. I don't know where I'm going to find myself next, but I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, nwaobiala. You are such a talented artist, and I love the fact that the way you transit from writing to to taking photographs, then into videos, and then you move into multimedia because your environment actually influences what you do. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. The next person online is Lauren. Lauren.
Yeah. Thank you. I have always been a maker. I have a million different projects because I think of something and I want to make it and figure out how it's done and constructed. And but ultimately, all of those things come back to, or most of them come back to two things, which is Caribbean storytelling and folklore, which I've always been fascinated by, and then also costume and dress, which I love. So. I think moving from Jamaica to Trinidad at an early age and experiencing Carnival at an early age really coalesced a lot of that for me. That is so much about storytelling. And also, of course, the exuberance of dress and just the fanfare and the masquerade. There's something about dress and being able to put on characters and take off characters, right? Because we're all choosing what we wear. We're all choosing artifacts and elements to tell people who we are and our own story, and I just had to shout out Bryan and his look today, which
Look
I'm
at him.
talking about like glasses.
It's looking so good. I had to tell Bryan, I like them shades. Listen.
From even on the Facebook, we have a comment that Bryan is looking lovely.
Oh my God.
Bryan is looking lovely.
Also on the YouTube, we have a comment for a question for both Lauren and nwaobiala. Can you say which medium would be best for a general story?
For a general story?
As you continue your storytelling process, and you all are multidisciplinary artists, so if you can say which medium is your favorite when you storytell.
Well, for myself, and I think the way that my practice has worked, it started with the tangible and the making, and now with this project with Bakanal has moved into video, and I'm really excited about exploring costume and dress in different ways. Moving forward, I'm actually doing a lot more research on the materiality of the Caribbean, so Caribbean materiality. And I'm back in school studying textiles, but also material culture. So it's going in more of an academic way, so slightly less visible and tangible, but still really interesting and about the things and the artifacts that define Caribbeanness.
Yeah, and I love exactly what you said. Lauren is an amazing artist. All the artists here are so amazing. You should all check them out. But as for me, I think it's just very dependent on what the story needs and the people involved in the story as well. So my past project, We Are More Than Bodies, was a digital collaging and photography project. And I had to use that medium because I was exploring the effects of cultural homophobia in queer Nigerian Americans. And not everybody is out to their parents or out to the world. So it was very important that I kept their identities confidential. And digital design and photography gave me the space to be able to do that. So it depends on what the medium can allow you to do, how creative you can get with it. And then also it involved like the people who are involved, like what do you want from this? What do you want to be able to tell folks? And how do you want to protect people as well? Because, you know, these are other people's stories. So yeah.
Thank you, nwaobiala.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor, and thank you, Nzilani, for the question. We know some people are thirsting over Bryan out there. So, I mean, Bryan, where are you? People want to see you.
Hey, I'm here in Nzinga. Oh, it's such a beautiful compliment. You look really good. Thank you. I'm wearing one of my favorite homegrown designers. It's called Katungulu Mwendwa. So how did I start my creative journey? For the longest time, I used to watch my grandmother dress up for church and for family occasions, and she really showed up and showed out. So with that, I slowly started picking up on fashion as well as going through my mom's magazines and my aunt's magazines. Fast forward to life after campus, I got my first styling gig with my mentor. He's called Sunny Dolat. So he introduced me to the styling world in Nairobi. And then from there, I slowly started finding my footing in the industry. I am also a photographer and an aspiring videographer as well. So I am slowly acclimatizing myself with the film world. I would want to put out a few films. Where do I see my creative journey taking me? Probably having my films premiere in the biggest film festivals in the world, having my art being exhibited in major art spaces, both home and away, and also just being the voice to the voiceless in terms of my work. Yes.
Wow, thank you, Bryan. We hope one day we can see your films in the biggest film festival, you know? Can't wait for these days.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
well, thank you, everyone. We are going to move on to question number 2. You all know this year's theme is transportation, so me soon come. So I want you to tell us, what does me soon come mean to you? If you could also translate me soon come in your language or language that you know, that'd be great. You know, we always need to learn more languages out there, you know? So, Dom, what does me soon come mean to you?
Me soon come means to me, this is a particular time in American history, especially for Black folks, and this is a particular time in global history for the diaspora. And so I took me soon come for me to mean our time has come, like our time for justice, our time for joy, our time for jubilance, our time for representation, our time has come. And I also took it to mean that your time has come to the oppressor who might try to continue to oppress those of us who are Black and in America. Your time has come to receive the consequences of that colonization, of that oppression. And so I think I took it in a historical way. Like, this is a moment in time for the paradigm to shift and for us to realize our greatness, our former greatness, and our future greatness.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing. So the next person coming.
Vivi, yeah, Adetona.
Or should I go ahead?
Yeah, Vivi.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Go ahead, yes, go ahead.
I'm listening to you.
Okay, thank you, Nzinga. So for me, me soon come. It emulates life, which is like my biggest inspiration when it comes to creativity. It to me it means that I am not I'm ever moving, I'm ever changing, and as an artist also I should not be afraid of ever changing, ever moving. So me soon comes mean I'm going. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going and I'm moving, which is so important because it means if you're moving every day, then you're growing, you're learning you're experiencing new ideas, new perspectives. So that's what me soon come means to me.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The next person in line is Wole.
Okay, great. For me, so to me, let me translate Misunkom into Nigerian pidgin. I think it will be Idekom. Sometimes when people tell you that you might not see them soon enough, even though it means they are so close to you or getting back to you. But what Misunkom to me means to me as a person means we are ever moving, we are ever transitioning. It is going from where we currently are to where we are ought to be. As artists, as human beings, I think we always have that desire to be better people, better friends, better artists. And Misunkon means that the journey might be slow, might not be so fast, but definitely you definitely progress and get to where you ought to be in life.
Oh, that speaks to me right now, Wole. You didn't know I needed to hear that, I bet.
Yes.
Well, I did.
And it also speaks to a few people in the YouTube. So we have Kudabo. He's like, cool. Tell them. They're saying that they really resonate, that we are ever moving and we are ever transitioning. So Wale, you definitely have some people in the chat loving you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I think the next one is Olubori. Olubori, what does me soon come mean to you?
Well, actually, the meaning is so much more meaningful now because the reason I came to Nigeria was he's about 110 years old. And so when I actually got to sit with him last week, he told me that he felt like his time was coming. And what he said was, I'll be coming back soon. So like just thinking of that and then relating that to this question is just really powerful. So me soon come to me, that statement represents hope, I feel, especially with the state that the world is in right now. especially the United States, like back home. I mean, here is home too, but like just the state of the entire world right now. It's nice to think of this statement, "Me soon come," the idea that something is coming back to you, you know, something that's promised, something that's, you know, supposed to enrich your life is well on its way. It's close to you. It's approaching you. So "Me soon come" basically represents the idea that yes, we are always moving and evolving, like everyone else said, but I feel like more so it embodies hope. Basically, that's what that statement means to me.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is so touching. Olubori, I telling us about being with your parents, staying with your father, and then telling you all of these stories. Actually, it's something to to hear and something to listen to. When elderly man talk to you, about I'm almost leaving, and then I can also relate that you are currently with him and you travel all the way from America to come to Nigeria. That you've come and meet him, and he's an elderly person, and that's great. So the next person in line is Sephora. Sephora.
Yeah.
Are you with us?
Here.
Yeah.
So, well, one, I definitely agree with what like Dom and Olubori were saying in that it's a moment in time right now that like I think the meaning is a little bit different right now, and I think I'll remember this theme happening this year for many reasons. But also similar to what Wole was saying, to me, "Me soon come" is like an eternal state of mind. It's like I've only gotten started. I'm just always a work in progress. I'm always going to be creating, and actually like I'm never going to get there. Like my art is always going to be on the way. I'm always going to keep making stuff. I'm never going to just get to my destination and stop moving. It's like a lifelong thing. Creating is like a lifelong thing. So "Me soon come" is like my way of saying on to the next one, keep making things to keep going. And in Tigrinya, which is the national language Eritrea, I don't know how to say "Me soon come," but I do ask myself like "Abelahi," which is like, where are you, right? So that's
okay. Thank you. That was very inspiring, Sephora. We never get to our destination as artists, and it's something important to remember. The trip is the most important. Yeah, the journey. Yeah. Nwaobiala, "Me soon come." Where are you?
Yes. So for me, "Me soon come," when I think of it, I think of something my grandfather used to tell me all the time. He used to say "Tempus fugit," which means time flies by. And there's something about this journey. I feel like at points in our journey, it feels so long. It feels so treacherous, so difficult, like as if these moments are never going to end. But as we know, they do end, and new things are always coming up. This journey is so volatile. We never know what's next, not really. So "Me soon come" is a series of present moments. Everything that happens to us happens in the present moment. And it's all of these moments that are happening. It's the trail we're leaving behind. It's the many paths in front of us. It is so many things at one time. And we are able to hold those complexities. We're complex beings. We're divine beings as well. And in Igbo, when people are heading out or they're going on another journey, you say "Ijoma," which means safe journey.
Oh, that's also a name.
Yes.
Right? Oh, I love that name. I didn't know you mean. Okay, I learned something. Thank you. I'm so happy right now. All right, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, to echo what Sephora was saying about how this time, not just this time in Bakanal de Afrique, but also this year has just transformed the meaning of "Me soon come." I mean, when I would have heard that before, anybody telling me "I come in," I'm relaxing. I know it's going to be a while. But I think in that, and through this time, I've come to recognize the trust in something like "Me soon come." It's an alarm even, right? It's not a warning unless you're on the wrong side of history, but it is an alarm. Is coming and coming back and coming to fruition. So "Me soon come," yeah, has become something that feels inevitable, right? Whether it's us in our power as individuals or as communities or as a movement, it's coming with surety. Yeah.
Brilliant, beautiful. Bryan, I know you're in the corner waiting to tell us about what mission comes to you.
So first of all, I think Misun come loosely translated in Sheng, which is like slang in Nairobi, means ntakuja. And my grandmother always told me, what is promised to you will always find you, no matter the duration of time. So I would definitely, I'd really like to echo what Wole and Olubori said, that no matter how long the journey is, you're definitely going to finally get to where you're meant to be. And for me, as a creative, I feel like we're always in a never-ending loop of trying to figure out ourselves and discover ourselves. And at one point, you've always wanted to give up, but there's always something that brings you back to your path. So I feel like that is what Me Soon Come means for me.
Thank you, Bryan. Oh, we have Nzilani with us.
Yeah, in the Facebook, I just want to say, someone here is saying they really resonate with what Wole says. They said they come in pidgin is almost an ask. It's almost like an ask to the person you're talking to wait, like have patience, it'll happen when it happens. So they're really resonating with what Wole said.
Okay, thank you, Nzilani. Keep us posted about what Facebook says. Go ahead, Adetona.
We are here, we are here because of our audience, and I'm actually glad that they're actually participating. They should keep their question coming. We really want them to talk. We really want them to ask questions from our artists. As you can see, we have amazing, creative, talented artists in the house. So, they should keep the question coming. Go ahead, Nzinga.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask Tayleur if there's anything else. Tayleur, do we have any question? Do we have any more comments?
We don't have any questions, but we have a ton of people. Like, I think at some point we all need to collab on like a book of just like positive words and affirmations, because everything is just it's seeding into the soil of everybody in these social chats. And especially during this emotional time, every time is really emotional for artists. So every day we need these phrases and excerpts from you all. So keep them coming. Artists.
Thank you, Tayleur. Artists, maybe MCs also, who are also artists, Okay, well, Adetona and I, and everyone else, to be honest, would like you artists to tell us more about your projects and what has been your experience with the fellowship. We are very interested in that because that's what we're here for at the end of the day, right? So Duncan, how about your project?
My project is a 3-song EP called Passportal. And if you're on my portal page, you'll see that it says Dom Jones featuring Eric Fells. So I worked with a producer on this project named Eric Fells, who is one of my peers from Berklee College of Music. And we are really just having a conversation about transportation through this music. The way that we worked on the music was I would record a cappella vocals of myself and send them to Eric, just pieces of songs, and then he would create music around it. So it was really a back and forth and a collaboration. And we're really just diving into not only physical transportation, but spiritual transportation. The ancestors are with us as we travel along our journey. Whoever you believe in, whatever, if you believe in God, if you believe in Allah, your higher power is with you as you travel. And so these systems of transportation that for Black folks may seem treacherous or dangerous, we have a higher hedge of protection around us to help us reach our ultimate destination. And so we're talking about that on this project. And there's also a sense of joy and a sense of group travel because we don't travel alone. We have our friends. Everyone who's in our lives is traveling down the road with us. And what does that mean? How does that change our journey? How does that affect our journey? I'm traveling with the Bakanal de Afrique fellows right now. You guys are all a part of my
Yay!
journey. And so all of that comes through the music, and I'm super excited for folks to hear it.
So, how has been your experience with the fellowship?
The fellowship has been amazing. Just meeting folks from all around the world, and meeting folks from different disciplines. I think that, art affects art. So when a musician meets a photographer, meets a painter, meets a sculptor, it affects each medium in such a beautiful way. And so looking at the different mediums and speaking with the different artists really influenced my art itself, and especially the other musicians. There's some plans to collaborate with some of my fellows after this fellowship. So it's always great to meet
Yeah.
other artists and put our heads together and create something new.
Look, it never ends. That's what Sephora and Wole said. It never ends. It never ends.
That's right.
Vivi.
Yes, thank you. So my project is called Seatless. I'm a sculptural designer who focuses on everyday objects. So for my project, I wanted people to think about transportation from outside the box. I mean, we use matatus, we use motorbikes, we use bikes, we use trains, but what is the common denominator in all these things is a chair. So I kind of wanted people to question what it would be to be transported without a chair. I mean, that's why it's called seatless. So it's just sort of like seeing this model or human being interact with chairs that have no seating area. And so what does that mean for the audience? Like, it's also for the audience to question like what seating means to me during transportation. And yeah, I collaborated with someone from Nairobi called Nzinga. He's a very good film and videographer. We did a short film, and the audience will be able to see all the 4 designs of the Seatless project in the film. So guys, buy your tickets and enjoy this amazing film.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vivi. Wole, go on and shoot the shot.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so my project is a short documentary, a photo documentary project titled Words on Wheels. So in this part of the world, especially in Nigeria, we have these 3-wheeler tricycles known as keke. And keke are like the normal 3-wheeler bicycles, with an extended wheel to carry 3 to 4 passengers. But what is interesting is that these drivers, from time to time, have this culture of marking their vehicles with certain words, inscriptions, and names that keep you guessing and asking questions of what it means to them. So this project was meant to just probe deep, interact with these drivers, understand the thoughts behind the captions, the words. And it was interesting to find out things around religion, self-belief, their aspirations, and so many things they owe dear to them. So it's interesting to also see that transportation is a means of visual communication. So these people have transport vehicles that they use to amplify certain messages to the audience, to their users, the passengers, and the public. So I'm going through this work. For those who are accessing the Bakanal de Afrique website, you will get to experience various subjects ranging from their aspirations, their desires, to things around self-identity. And what really interested me was that these identities shape how our drivers adopt and go about transportation. So for instance, there's a man who holds family dearly to him, And what he does is that reminds him to always stay safe on the road because he wants to go back to his family at night. So that's what Words on Wheel is all about. So my experience so far interacting with amazing creatives from around the world has been exciting. Seeing various artists using different disciplines to highlight the theme of transportation has sharpened my mind. The interaction has been great, and it's been an interesting experience. So thank you, Bakanal de Afrique, for this opportunity to interact with amazing folks.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Wole. Thank you so much. But Wole, can I ask you, these 3 wheels that you're talking about, can it be used for something else?
Okay, thank you. So majorly is designed to carry people, especially within the cities, help to navigate smaller roads, small neighborhoods and small satellite towns. And majorly for people, and a little others tend to use it for certain goods that are not so heavy. So those are the 2 main things you use kekes for in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much, Wole. Thank you very much. And Nzinga, do you have something to say?
No, I'm just I was thinking about the pictures we just saw. It's beautiful. I can't wait to see on the website because I have my ticket. So if you don't have yours,
Yeah,
what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It's really amazing. Honestly, it's worth it. And like, it's not every day be entertained by the artist. Some days support the artist. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I think the next one in line is Olubori, who is going to tell us about his project.
Absolutely. So for my project, I actually made a time-lapse video. This was my first time-lapse video I ever made. But about the piece itself, so this piece titled BART Chronicles is it's about people basically that ride BART on every day, right? So there's all types of people that ride BART. You have your suit and tie people that they are on their way to work. You have break dancers that are on there and they are dancing for money. You have the homeless. Really, it varies as to the many folks that you will see on a BART train every day. So the center of this piece is the BART train, of course, going right through the center. The silhouettes on top of the BART train actually represent the homeless, right? Because they're usually overlooked. And like they are usually the reason that somebody would stand up and move to the other side of the BART car. It's quite sad and it's quite unfortunate. But those are the people on top of the BART train. And then at the bottom, you have the turf dancers. And if you pay attention, you will also see some phone cameras as well with flashes, right? And at the top, we have Oscar Grant and Neil Wilson, 2 young Black lives that unfortunately were cut short at BART train stations. And Oscar Grant was shot by the BART police, right? And then Neil Wilson was actually stabbed to death by a white supremacist while she was waiting for her father to pick her up. So those are 2 unfortunate cases, but they are icons to me. And the cameras actually hold a double meaning, right? So in a sense that people do record these dancers, right? For their pleasure to enjoy what they're doing. But then also when Oscar Grant was shot and killed, people recorded him also. And then to top this all off, we have the San Francisco silhouette in the background. So yeah, I basically just wanted to touch on what happens every day on BART and how much BART ties into our culture, specifically in the Bay Area.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olubori. This is a brilliant art piece. You know, just in one frame, there's a lot of story that surrounds this frame. You know, it's very interesting, and I love it. Just a quick reminder, I want to strongly believe that our artists, our audience are actually, you know, pushing in their questions in for our artists, and then they should also use, you know, tag war to make a draw and all of this. And as we move on, we call on to Sephora to tell us, you know, what you have in store. How's the project been?
So the work that I made for Bakanal de Afrique is a short film project. It's called Therapy, and it's basically a word that I made up that describes the process of riding the San Francisco Bay Ferry back and forth to Oakland and back. It's kind of a way to clear my head, and this year has been pretty, you know, exhausting and stressful. So I would just ride the ferry back and forth, and it was very therapeutic. So it felt like therapy. So I call it therapy. And it started off as something I used to do by myself. And then it kind of expanded into like me going with some of my friends on this ride. And we, you know, we're like sitting on opposite sides, our masks are on, but we're like there together. And then started taking photos of them. And then it actually ended up being this like mental journey. You know, it's like in 2020, there's not a lot of travel going on, right? We can't really like, we're not going to places, but we are like going through things, right? So to me, I'm like going back and forth, traveling a very short distance, but thinking about the things that, the challenges that, you know, come up this year, and deciding to find the nerve, you know, to actually try real therapy. Therapy isn't something that is like super common in Eritrean culture. It's also not that common in the Black community that, you know, I grew up in, and it's not really like taboo. We're not used to going to or talking about it openly. So I had to kind of like talk to my friends and even my family, and just be less embarrassed to want to try therapy to help me get through some things. And it's been so great so far. And so the project was about building up the nerve and trying to make it something that's part of your process, right? Not something that's like a detour. So yeah, therapy is basically like traveling a very short physical distance to travel a very large mental distance.
Okay, well, you're right. Black people shouldn't be ashamed of going to therapy. Therapy is for everyone. So thank you, Sephora, for reminding us of that. You didn't tell us about your experience in the fellowship. We're curious to know, how did you like? Do you like your fellow fellows?
Yeah.
Do you hate us? How did it go?
Yeah, no, I've had an amazing time in the fellowship, because it really is it's a way to connect with artists that help, you know, inspire and inform me. And also, you know, a lot of artists had gone through therapy or like their own journeys. And so it was great to just listen to others and hear about what their experience has been. And also like there's words of encouragement that come from other people who, even if they don't relate to what you're going through exactly, they support you. And I feel that the artists in our cohort are super down for each other's journeys. And I feel so thankful to be in Bakanal de Afrique. It's been like a very supportive and inspiring experience.
Thank you, Sephora. And we feel grateful to have you as a fellow. Okay, nwaobiala, I see you smiling. It's your turn. Show us the smile. Yay.
Yes. Okay, so my project is a short film. It's a collection of queer and trans memory. And what I did was I took archival footage from the past and history from our past, language, and I wanted to bring it to the present. So I was using my piece of work as a vehicle for revelation, for understanding ourselves even more. And this piece is really trying to say not only that queer and trans Nigerians have always existed, but also that in this present moment, we are demanding more from Nigerian culture than what it has allowed for us. So I really, really enjoyed this project. And I just want us to understand ourselves better as Nigerians, and be more open to who we were before colonization, before, you know, and there's this idea that gender and sexuality marginalization is a static aspect of Nigerian culture when really it transforms over time. The idea of gender transforms over time, sexuality transforms over time. So gender fluidity and sexuality fluidity are very common, very integral to Nigerian cultures. And in terms of my fellowship, it's been absolutely amazing being able to meet artists from all over the world. And I also was able to reconnect with some artists that I had met in the past. So Damani, who's this amazing poet, I had met him like 2 years ago at a poetry competition. And then I also knew Arafa, who I met in Nairobi last year. So it's this connecting of dots, it's making new connections. So it's just been an overall absolutely amazing experience.
That's amazing. And indeed,
Really beautiful.
yeah. As African, we should be, yes, more open to what we were before and not stuck on the static definition of sexuality and gender and that were just colonial things, you know? So I feel that it's something I've been working on. So, you know, I feel that now, Obiala. Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Lauren?
Yeah, sure. So my piece is a short video, and it's called Infinite Arrival. When I first started the piece, I knew exactly what I was going to make, and it had a very different feel. But through the process of working with the fellows, through the process of the weekly, we had check-ins, and we would all talk, and it transformed from something that felt a lot like labor in this repeated pattern of exploration that we as Caribbeans have always done. We have always explored this land and this planet, and I didn't feel like we gave ourselves enough credit, or B, celebrated that movement and that future forward-thinking exploration that we've always done. So again, whereas something began with this feeling of heavy labor in terms of transportation and migration, it became this conquering spirit, which I really enjoyed and was very much informed by working with the fellows. In fact, there was a conversation that we had early on about fractals. One of the fellows mentioned fractals, and we started talking about it, and I did my own investigation. So the entire piece uses a clip from a Puerto Rican writer and poet and just all around amazing woman, Mayra Santos Febres, and she's talking about Caribbean fractals and this repeated pattern over and over and over again, in this case of expansion. So, you know, the fellowship very much informed the work that you see there, but also for myself, just to be able to connect in a moment where it was very isolating. I'm in Miami, my family's not here, but I was able to each week talk to a group of people that I got to know and become familiar with and really care for. So it was an important weekly event for me, most definitely. And just to say, you know, we were using language a lot as part of the fellowship. And Bryan, can you tell like I'm standing Bryan right now? But like he had this, when in the last question he mentioned this phrase. And also I will say that my Jamaican family also says, what for you can be on for you, right? Like what is for you cannot be not for you. So that parallel again is a lot of what was happening through that fellowship, but finding the connection that you know I never realized was there.
Thank you so much, Laura, and really appreciate it. I think there's a lot going on in our Padlet, and they want to share with us. I think there's a lot of pictures that's been uploaded and a lot of drawings. So let us see what they have for us, you know, nwaobiala.
Keep calm and keep calm. Yes, that's what you should do.
If we're talking about quotes, we do have a question in the chat. Mutinda says, I would love to know some of the quotes that influenced nwaobiala to start pursuing art.
Oh, okay. So the quotes, I wouldn't say influenced why I wanted to pursue art, but I think it that is where my interest in words and being able to express oneself through words or through mediums began. So not really the quotes themselves. Honestly, I've changed so, like my mentality has changed so much since that point. So I don't even remember what quotes I was looking at, but that's where my my interest in words came from.
But can you give us a quote though? Can you give us a quote though? We're here for a quote now, Nwaobiala. Anything from Beyonce to Chimamanda to your grandmother. Bryan hit us with a quote. You know.
You could freestyle something real quick.
You can actually, you know, think about what we give you time. We give you time, okay? Okay. I think Bryan is up next.
So my project, thanks Nzinga and Adetona. So my project is titled Man and Machine, and what I really wanted to do with my project is to explain the relationship that a human being has with a machine, and in particular, I particularly looked at three of my friends. Two of them have cars, and one of them has a motorbike. And I wanted to explore the relationship that they have with their modes of transportation and what connection do they have. Because for the longest time, we've always been taught that for you to live like a really good life, you need to have a nice car, a nice home, you need to live a really fast-paced life. And what my project tries to communicate is you necessarily don't have to live that kind of life because you can have a really good budget-friendly car, even though it's not state of the art. You can always pimp it out to make it state of the art to suit your comfort, to suit your everyday needs. So that is what my project communicated. I've had a love for old cars for the longest time. I was introduced to this love by my grandfather, who owned a nice old pickup that we used to travel with when we used to go to the countryside for Christmas. And then I met a really good friend of mine called Mohammed. I'm sure he's watching this right now. He has an infinite love for really old cars. So he has a group of friends who are constantly on the prowl for old cars, and they refurbish them to suit them to their very needs. And when you look at the cars after the work that they've put in, the cars look really good. They actually look better than the state-of-the-art cars. So that is what I wanted to explore. On my project, I collaborated with a really good writer called Abubakar and a really good videographer called Marvin. So they really helped to bring my vision to life with bare minimum of words and like a description of what I really wanted. They understood where I was coming from and where I was going. What being part of the fellow to me has been something really good. I mean, spending every single Saturday for 4 hours with humans across the world in different time zones. It really it changes your perspective on your work, on your creative journey. You get to learn a lot from everyone else. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey for me.
Thank you, Bryan. Thank you for this anti-capitalist speech also. You know, don't throw things, just, you know, everything changes, everything evolves. You know, you don't need lots of money. You don't need to change your car every 2 years. I mean, can you? But you don't need to, even if you could. Thank you, Bryan. I think thank you. I wanted to thank all of our artists, and we are going to move on to our group project, Adetona. We are trying to give you a feel of what it was to be here together and work together for this whole past 5 months. So Adetona, can you explain to us the group project?
Yeah, so right now I want to encourage our audience, to go straight to the Padlet, so I want us to design a black city of the future, what does a black city of the future looks like? And they should also, design a piece of transportation form of the future, like what in the future, like how can they, transport themselves from here now to the future, it's just a simple way of, they should create that for us. Anyway.
Yeah. So artists, can you tell us like what's in your ideal future African city, black city? How does it smell like? How does it look like? What do we eat? What do we listen to? How do we party? How do we dress, Bryan? How do we dress? Like do we wear shades or like our eyes are only sunproof? I don't know. It's the future.
We wear velvet, purple velvet, like my girl Dom over there.
Oh yeah, we wear purple velvet as head wraps, Dom. That's right. Head wrap team.
Head wrap squad. That's right.
So come on, Sephora. How does it look like? Like if you were to shoot a movie in a future African city.
I was muted, sorry. So in film, there's this thing called frames per second, which is like how fast you're capturing the images. So in my future city, I would hope there's like different speeds in different parts of the city. If you want to just have a chill, slow day, you can just be in the like slow-mo zone. If you want to be busy, active, loud, there's another part of the city for that vibe. And basically there's like a frames per second for every mood.
Yeah, come on, artists. You don't need to wait for your.
I want there to be like an official nonverbal language of our city, right? Like we all know the head nods, we all know the hand signals, right? We all know what we're talking about when we're talking about it. So a shared language for sure, like verbal and also a nonverbal shared language.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We are gonna eat some mofongo. I know you love plantains and Nzinga, so mofongo.
Yeah, some food
my
too.
favorite way to eat plantains. So that's how we're gonna get down on the food, and we can share it all together. We eat in a shared way, in a family way. So that's how we get ours when we're grubbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for my city, there would definitely be a lot of murals around. I'm a huge advocate for artwork. So and it would be dope specifically because this city would consist of Africans from like all over the continent. So just being able to see like what artists created would actually be pretty dope. And as far as like how it would smell like coconut oil for sure. Some shea butter, you know what I'm saying? Throw some shea butter in there. We all want to smell that, to be a whole lot of
I
green.
want the smell of plantain. Sorry, Olubori. Everything can smell like plantain. I'm a plantain smell. Like fried plantain, boiled plantain. Well, boiling coconut oil. Here, we have a common ground. Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, not like literally everything smelling like shea butter. That'd be kind of scary. Like, hold on, that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? So definitely not every single thing, but I mean, just like the general aura of the city would be shea butter. I think that would be pleasant.
Yeah, Bryan, you had something to add?
Oh, yeah. So I think my ideal African city would be a city full of vibrance. The fashion sense would be very loud and audacious. People don't care how they dress. People are very proud of what they put on. It would be dancing to Afrobeat every single day, every single minute of our lives. It would be a continuous party. We'd end up inspiring the rest of the world, and they'd want to be like us.
Yes, they already want to be like us, though. They already want to be like us, though, Bryan. Is that right?
Yeah, so for me,
Go, Wole, we're listening.
all right, yeah. I agree with all what everyone has said, all co-artists have said, and the important thing for me will be a city that is built on love and inclusion. Two main things, love and inclusion. Then we're also going to eat party jollof with some plantain, of course, from Nzinga.
Nigerian jollof, Ghana
Nigerian
jollof,
party jollof, yeah.
the
Nigerian
original
party jollof.
jollof, which is Senegalese. Sorry, I have to rep for the French speaking here. I'm not about this wow, I'm not about this wow. Original jollof Senegalese, okay? Just to go away from this war. But thank you, Wole.
Wait, I have no plantain people in this crew, and shout out for Dom for like getting back to the plantain debate 2000. I got no team plantain. That's okay. In our city, we can exist. We can coexist. I believe.
Coexist. Only the tastes matter. Anyway.
Yes, and also in our city, how I envision it is nobody's survival is dependent on the amount or type of labor that they do. Everyone can do the labor that they want to do all the time. You can do what you want to love. You can do what you love, and you will still be able to survive. You'll still be able to thrive. You know, there's no rent. We don't own anything around us. We're living with
Universal salary. You know, everyone has one.
Yes.
This way artists can flourish, right now, Nwaobiala.
Yes, absolutely.
What else? Who hasn't spoken? Vivi, what's in your African city?
For me, in my city, like you would only live in my city if you had love. Like if you had hate for the other person, then I would create something that would probably be able to sense, how much love or animosity a human being has. And then if you're falling on the animosity or the hatred side, then you don't get access to my city. So my city would be all love, all happiness, everyone, whether you're male, female, wherever you come from, all love.
Okay, bad energy stay far away in our city. You know, you don't go through if you don't have love. I like that idea, Vivi. We are looking at the tag wall right now, so let us see.
Yeah.
Okay, lots of quote here. Nwaobiala, see, you have a quote here.
When a musician meets a photographer, sculptors, it means.
Oh, okay. Coconut oil.
Plantains, yeah,
Okay, do we have to have a fight on how to cut on plantain, or this is something for another day?
What do you say, Nzinga? Can I hear you?
I said, do we have to have a fight on how are we supposed to cut plantain in a future city? Or that's something for another day.
Something for another day.
Okay.
It's something for another day. I can see this beautiful car. Can you see this car? I drive an old car and it's actually older than I am. This is beautiful. I'm a vintage person, so I can relate.
Nice. Okay. I'm liking this padlet. Thank you for sharing everything you shared with us, the image. Thank you for being involved with this artist talk. I think we have one last question for our artists. One last demand, Adetona.
Yeah, it's this last question. It's more like a wrap up, isn't it, in Nzinga?
Yeah.
And it's just they just have to give us one word that describe their journey in Bakanal de Afrique. From both the artist and the audience. Actually, it's for everybody right now. So just give us one word that describe your journey in Bakanal de Afrique Festival. Thank you.
Transformative.
Transformative. Okay.
Keep moving. That's beautiful. Family. We are one,
Interesting.
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Okay.
I would say adventurous.
Eye-opening.
Grounding.
Learning curve.
Bryan, I didn't hear you.
Learning curve.
Okay. I love this. It's also diverse. Although we all live the same thing. That's super interesting. Well, I wanted to thank everyone again for being with us tonight. Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Sephora, Lauren, Bryan, Olubori, nwaobiala, Wole, Vivi, Tayleur, Nzilani, everyone. Me, Bandida from Paris, France, by way of Abidjan, and Adetona. Fine man, no pimple. Okay, so we are going to ask
That's how we
you
roll. Yeah.
to well, say goodbye in your or language that you know. Just like I say, it doesn't have to be your own. How do you say bye? So we have to going to say bye together. all
Double.
together.
You know, before we actually go, you know, it's actually interesting, you know, seeing our audience participate, like they are part of the event. I love the fact that they contribute, they ask questions, which is very interesting. And you know, thank you so much for coming. And a quick one, this is not over. Just go on Bakanal de Afrique Festival to check on the next artist talk show that we'll be having next. You know, it will be a good one. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Adetona, for reminding me to thank our audience. And we are not lying. It's not because we are part of this thing that we are not that we are lying. Go take your ticket. It is worth it. It is worth it.
I beg.
So, yeah,
I beg.
it's worth it. Take your ticket, pay, watch, enjoy, support. You know what I'm saying? So let's say at the count of 3, everyone say bye in their own language. Is everybody ready? Cool. So 3.
Are we ready?
Yeah, they're ready.
If you are ready, just do this.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Double.